How much should you let automation run your creative output, your creative business? That's the question I'm going to explore. Welcome to my studio, Primordial Creative, in rainy Los Angeles. I am David Miller. I'm a multimedia artist and educator, been in the game 2 decades, and mostly known for photography, which is an art form that in the arts tradition was very maligned for being a technological art form, something that people in the 19th century assumed you could just buy your way into the art form, meaning if you had enough money, you could buy a camera and it did all the work for you. Of course, in the 21st century, we know that is completely false and stupid, but it's a thing that people thought back in the day, especially people who had spent years and decades perfecting their own handicrafts, like painting. Learning to paint somebody realistic takes a lot of skill and effort and education. And then when a camera comes along, can do kind of the same thing. It's like, oh my God, we can't have this as part of our museums, our galleries. It needs to be put off to its own side. So I feel like that's kind of where this conversation should start. Technology absolutely has its place in all creative forms. And it always has, going back to when painters could paint realistically because they had a box that projected that image in a space that they could transcribe realistically. The camera obscura, which became the camera that we use and the one that I'm using right now to film me. Now, automation is sold to us as a simplification of a task, meaning you don't need the same number of people or the same number of man hours to complete a task as it previously took. And I think that on the surface is a very good thing. There's a lot of stuff that I can do now with automation and the artificial intelligence that is automating a lot of this stuff that I couldn't do previously. And to give one example of something that I do on a regular basis with my photography is that Adobe has AI masks in Lightroom. And these AI masks can detect portions of a face, can detect lips, eye sclera, hair texture, whatever. And you can find those automatically, and then you can apply your effects to those areas automatically. You can apply them to multiple things. So what's normal for me is to hit body, skin, face, and lips all at once with a softened skin. This is something I would do whether or not AI masks existed. I just had to go through photos individually, one at a time, with a brush and do it myself in the past. And now, no problem for me to grab 100 photos and then hit a button or two, something maybe I already have set up. That AI mask you can save as a preset, and it'll knock out all those photos instantly. And now where maybe it was like, I'd be willing to do a shoot and give people 10 photos that were edited. Now I could be like 50 photos. It really is the same amount of time for me, if not faster, because of AI masks. And that example is something where I automated something that I was going to do anyways, and I was going to do it the same way anyways. I was still gonna brush around the face. Unless there's something egregious or difficult about what the AI mask can and can't pick up, like something that's really shadowy, it is no different between me doing it myself and the automation doing it. So I wanted to give that as an example of why you would use an AI tool. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos from other people who are like Premiere people, After Effects people, YouTube Shorts gurus, those kind of things. And there are people who 100% are advocating for having AI create content for them because they think you need to have X amount of content on a regular basis. And if you automate it, it's going to be faster and it's going to save you time. And now you have more content to push out to people. And then when I watch their examples of this content, automated video editing, automated script reading, maybe they're faking the speaker's voice. It always is very bland, boring, not funny. Sometimes it makes horrible mistakes, absolutely stupid mistakes, because a lot of times it pulls from stock footage and the footage is like, it doesn't even fit, doesn't look right. It's really making just the most bottom drawer version of the video that they wanted to make. And I want to put it out there that whenever there's something that's like trendy or automated in a way that everybody like jumps on the bandwagon, that thing falls out of fashion so fast. Like everybody's doing it and then nobody's doing it. And the reason why it goes so fast these days Like when people were putting yearbook photos together, or they were like, oh wow, this is me as an anime character, you know? I saw that so much on Instagram for about a week. People were like, this fun filter, it did this thing. And then it's gone. And the reason why it's gone is because everybody can do it. And it all looks the same. And then there's nothing special, unique, interesting about any of it. So you could automate 365 days worth of content through AI, through CapCut Pro, through all these other things. And unless there was something to begin with, nobody will care. At a certain point, you want to have people care about what you do, because that's how you create returning viewers, returning customers, you know, people that actually relate or identify to what you're making. I think authentic connections with music, movies, characters, comics, in relationships between people, all of those things will last longer than what the automated stuff will do. The automated stuff is just going to get buried under other automated stuff. It's bots making content for other bots, and none of it will last. Whether or not you believe me, I know this to be true, because this is how it goes so many times in history. Somebody goes, there's a shorter, quicker, easier way to do these things, and all you have to do is relinquish all control. All control. And so you end up with things that are convoluted, mistaken, and it's just like this swirly path that all you had to do was just do the thing yourself. You know what I mean? Like, that's not going to get you where you want to go. I mean, you could try this over and over and over and over and over, but I'm telling you, this is like this circuitous path that goes all over the place when you could have taken the straight line. You can have AI write your script. You can plug it into a voice that sounds just like you. You're still going to end up editing that thing. And in the end of the day, the content where you appeared in front of the camera and actually talked is going to connect with the right people more than any of that automated stuff that you do. So, not dismissing AI completely. I think that automation, which is what we're really talking about, has its place. It needs to be for tasks that are exactly the way you would have done it, whether or not it was automated. And as in all things in life, other shortcuts are illusions. They're mirages, and get used to doing the real thing, because, you know, whether or not you learn that now or you learn that later in life, the real thing is what you need and want and will connect. Best of luck in your creative endeavors. Talk to you next time.